Is this what we're calling coaching now? Because I've been watching this footage on a loop, and either the entire boxing world has lost its eyesight, or somebody owes Papoose a phone call, an apology, and possibly a refund. Listen. Sit down. Put your phone face down. We are going frame by frame today, and by the time I'm done, you're going to need to lie down in a quiet room. Hi y'all, it's your favorite messy librarian, and today the file on my desk has Claressa Shields' name on it, Papoose's name on it, and a coach named Dre whose hands apparently went to a school I did not attend. Now I wasn't going to touch this one. I really wasn't. I told myself, Tisa, stay in your lane. Tisa, you don't know anything about boxing. Tisa, leave these grown people alone. And then I saw the clips. I saw them, y'all. And the Lord laid it on my spirit to press record. So here we are. Let's get into this. Because somebody in the comments, shout out to my deep dive girlies, sent me a compilation. A compilation of 6 different moments. 6. And I sat with it. I drank tea. I watched it twice. Then I watched it again at half speed. And I'm going to be honest with you, by the 3rd viewing, I had questions. Many questions. Spiritual questions. Legal questions. HR questions. Questions that should not have to be asked about a coach and his fighter. Now hold on. Come here. Before anybody runs to the comments to call me messy, let me be very clear about what I am and am not saying. I am not saying Claressa Shields did anything wrong. I am not saying her coach did anything wrong. I am not in their lives. I don't pay their bills. I wasn't in the gym. What I am saying is that body language is its own language, and when 6 clips in a row are speaking the same dialect, the rest of us at least get to ask whether we heard right. Right? That's all. That's all I'm doing. I'm a translator today, not a judge. Anyway, clip 1. Let's read this footage in real time, because the people deserve to know what we're looking at. The first clip is in the gym. Dre is standing behind Claressa, allegedly correcting her stance. Allegedly. And his hand, y'all, his hand travels. It doesn't sit on the shoulder. It doesn't tap the elbow. It doesn't go to the headgear. The hand takes a little vacation down to the lower back, and it lingers like it's reading a menu. Sir. That is not a Maybe Dre is one of those people who tilts at everybody. Maybe his neck just leans. Maybe he was raised in a tilting household. Sure. Fine. We'll call it even. But then clip 3 happened, and we have to talk about clip 3. We have to. Clip 3 is the seated interview. Dre is conducting an interview with Claressa. And he is seated, and I am being generous with the word seated. He is essentially perched on the woman's thigh. Her thigh, y'all. I had to play it 3 times because I assumed I had misjudged the angle. I had not. He was on her thigh. The man was running interview questions from atop her quadriceps. Now, I have watched a lot of interviews in my life. I've watched Oprah. I've watched Barbara Walters. I've watched Don Lemon. I've watched 60 Minutes. I have never in my life, and I say this with my whole chest, never seen a journalist conduct a sit-down by sitting down on the actual person being interviewed. That is not interviewing. That is occupying. That is real estate. That is a man planting a flag and saying, I live here now. And the worst part? The worst part is the way she didn't move. Now I'm not blaming her. I'm not. But if your coach plants himself on your thigh and your immediate reaction is to keep talking like everything is fine, I have to politely ask, how often is this happening? Because that is not a first-time face. That is a Tuesday face. That is a, oh, it's just Dre again face. And the Tuesday face is what is keeping me up at night. Now hold on, come here, because clip 4 is where my soul left my body. Clip 4. Dre is interviewing Papoose about Claressa, while putting his arm, his actual physical arm, around Papoose's shoulder. Around his shoulder. While asking him about his wife. Sir. That is not an interview. That is a hostage negotiation conducted by the hostage taker. That is like a man borrowing your car, crashing your car, and then putting his arm around you to ask if you've checked your insurance lately. The audacity of that arm. I'm telling you, that arm had more confidence than the entire United States Senate. And Papoose just nodded. Papoose nodded, y'all. He nodded like a man who has been nodding for years. He nodded like a man whose neck had memorized the choreography. And every nod broke a piece of me. Now I'm not saying Papoose knows. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that if a man puts his arm around you while asking about your wife, and you respond with a head nod and a smile, somewhere in your subconscious, you already know. You may not have admitted it out loud. You may not have written it down. But the body keeps the score. And Papoose's body knew the score in that clip. MHM. I'll move on. I'll move on. I said I'll move on. Clip 5 is what the internet is calling the look. And listen, I don't usually traffic in vibes. I'm a documents girl. I like receipts. I like paperwork. I like a court filing with a stamp on it. But the look had me. The look had me, y'all. Claressa is mid-conversation with Dre, and there is a glance. Just a glance. A half-second eye dart with a corner of the mouth lift. Now, in the body language community, that is what is technically known as a "we did it again" smile. It is the smile of two people who share a private radio frequency that nobody else in the room is tuned into. It is the smile that says, "I cannot believe we are getting away with this." And women have been giving each other versions of that look in restaurants since the dawn of brunch. We know that look. We invented that look. And to see it deployed in 4K on a publicly uploaded video? Bold. Bold work. And listen, I asked 4 different women in my group chat and all 4 said the same thing without conferring. Without conferring, y'all. That means something. That means we have arrived at what the courts call a preponderance of the eyebrow. Clip 6. The pinky. The pinky touch. Now, the pinky touch is a controversial piece of evidence because pinky touches can be accidental. Pinky touches can be coincidence. Pinky touches happen in elevators all the time, and we do not call the FBI. But this pinky touch, y'all, this pinky touch had timing. It had eye contact. It had a follow-through. A regular pinky touch is a glance. This pinky touch was a paragraph. This pinky touch had a thesis statement, 3 supporting examples, and a conclusion. And it happened while Papoose was off-camera presumably ordering a smoothie or signing a copy of his new single. MHM. The disrespect is not even the touch. The disrespect is the timing. Now let me address the elephant in the gym. People in my comments are saying, Tisa, you don't know these people. Tisa, body language isn't admissible in court. Tisa, you're being messy. And to those people, I say 2 things. 1, I do not have to know somebody to read a room. Reading rooms is what I do. Reading rooms is the entire job. 2, body language may not be admissible in court, but it is highly admissible in the court of girl. Look at this. And the court of girl look at this is currently in session, and Dre is on the stand, and the jury is your anti-group chat. So, what do we make of all of this? Here is where I have to put on my serious hat, because this is where the conversation gets layered. And I do not say that lightly. I have been doing this long enough to know that 1 clip is a coincidence, 2 clips is a pattern, 3 clips is a habit, and 6 clips? 6 clips is a relationship. 6 clips is a documented relationship that the participants forgot to file paperwork for. And once you cross into pattern territory, the burden of explanation shifts. It is no longer up to us, the viewers, to imagine an innocent reason. It is up to the people on camera to walk us through one. And so far, the silence has been deafening. There are essentially 3 possibilities, and I want to walk through each one fairly, because I am nothing if not fair. I am fair. I am known for being fair. Stop laughing. I am. Possibility 1. This is all innocent. Possibility 1 says Dre is a tactile coach. He hugs everybody. He sits on everybody. He puts his arm around husbands. He pinky touches all his clients. He's just a vibes guy. And if that is true, then I owe Dre an apology and a fruit basket. I will cash app him myself. But, and this is a big but, if Dre is that handsy with all his clients, somebody in his roster has a story, and I need that person to slide into my DMs, because we are not even halfway through this saga. We are in the prologue. Possibility 2, Papoose is fully aware of everything, has accepted it, has signed off on it, and is performing public marriage for the cameras because that is what the brand requires. Now, this is the possibility nobody wants to talk about, but we have to. Because if you remember, and y'all better remember, Papoose has gone on the record describing his marriage to Remy Ma as having an understanding. An understanding. Now, an understanding is a word grown people use when they have already had the painful conversation and decided not to have it again. An understanding is a peace treaty signed in private. An understanding is a man saying, I have accepted my circumstances, and I would prefer that you not bring them up at dinner. So if Papoose came into his arrangement with Claressa already preloaded with understanding energy, then maybe clip 4 wasn't a hostage situation. Maybe clip 4 was an open relationship. MHM. I am not saying that. I am asking that. There is a difference. There is a difference. Possibility 3. Papoose does not know. Papoose is walking around inside his own life with the blindfold on. Papoose is the last person at the cookout who hasn't noticed that everyone has left. And if that is the case, then we, as the internet, as a collective spiritual community, have to gently, lovingly, with the warmth of 1,000 grandmothers, tap that man on the shoulder and say, "Sir, please look up. Please. Just one look. One full sweep of the room." We are not asking for a forensic investigation. We are asking for a glance. Now I will say this. I will say this. The most painful version of all of this is not version 1, 2, or 3. The most painful version is the secret fourth version, which is the version where Papoose knows, has decided not to act, and is silently writing a 16-bar verse about it as we speak. Because Papoose is a rapper. He is a rapper. And rappers do not heal. Rappers do not journal. Rappers do not go to therapy. Rappers write. And somewhere in Brooklyn, in a kitchen, with a notebook, that man is currently cooking. He is cooking, y'all. And when that song drops, the internet is going to need a Sunday off. Now, I want to pause and talk about something nobody else is talking about, which is the role of the gym itself. Because gyms, boxing gyms specifically, have a culture. They have an internal language. They have hierarchies, rituals, and an unspoken physical economy. When a coach corrects a stance, the contact is brief. It is functional. It does not linger because lingering breaks the flow of training. Anybody who has spent 10 minutes in a real boxing gym knows this. Coaches tap. They reposition. They demonstrate. Then they back up so the fighter can absorb the correction. The lingering hand, the seated thigh, the wrapped arm, those are not gym gestures. Those are living room gestures. And when living room gestures show up in a gym, something has migrated. Something that should have stayed indoors has wandered into the public square. And once it wanders, the whole world gets to see it. The whole world gets to comment on it. The whole world gets to make videos about it. That is what is happening here. The line between gym and home got blurry, and the cameras caught the blur in high definition. And speaking of songs, let's not forget that Remy Ma exists. Remy Ma is still very much a person in this equation. Remy Ma, who is famously, historically, scientifically not somebody you want to find yourself in a lyrical disagreement with. Remy Ma, who has been quiet, but quiet in the way a thunderstorm is quiet 2 minutes before it ruins your barbecue. I am not saying Remy Ma is paying attention. I am saying Remy Ma has fingers, and those fingers know how to dial. And if 6 clips made it to my desk, you better believe 12 clips made it to hers. MHM. The girls are watching. The girls are always watching. The girls are the reason any of us know anything. Now let me give y'all my predictions, because I am a prediction woman. I have called every one of these so far. I am 2 for 2 on the last cycle. I called the photo crop. I called the engagement walk back. Don't make me list my receipts, because we don't have time. Here is what I think happens next, and I want you to bookmark this video and come back in 30 days. Prediction 1. Within the next 2 weeks, one of these 3 parties is going to post a thirst trap. A thirst trap on Instagram. Carefully art-directed. Possibly with a caption containing exactly 4 words and a single emoji. The emoji will be doing all the talking. Watch for it. Watch for the emoji. The emoji never lies. Prediction 2. Within the next 30 days, there will be a "We're Stronger Than Ever" post. The "We're Stronger Than Ever" post is the universal sign of internal collapse. Couples who are stronger than ever do not need to announce it. Couples who are stronger than ever are too busy being stronger than ever to type. So if you see the post, you know the cracks have reached the foundation. Bookmark it. Prediction 3. Coach Dre is going to attempt a public statement. He's going to go on a podcast, sit across from a host who's never trained a day in his life, and explain that his coaching style is very hands-on and very European. He's going to use the word passion. He's going to use the word discipline. He's going to use the word family. And the second a man uses all 3 of those words in the same sentence, run. Run, y'all. Run. And if you are watching this, and I know you are not, but if you are, blink twice. Blink twice and the internet will come get you. We have the resources. We have the time. We have the snacks. We are ready. Just blink. And to Coach Dre, I want to say this with my whole chest. Sir, get a different hand placement chart. Print it out. Laminate it. Put it on your refrigerator. Memorize it. There are diagrams online. There are coaching seminars. There are entire university courses on appropriate athletic contact. Take one. Take all of them. The girls are watching. We see you. We have been seeing you. And we are not going to stop seeing you. MHM. Now before I go, let me also say something to the women in the comments who are blaming Claressa for all of this. Don't do that. We are not going to do that. We do not know what arrangement exists. We do not know what was discussed. We do not know who said yes and who said maybe. So if you came here for me to drag Claressa, you came to the wrong office. I am dragging a hand. I am dragging a tilt. I am dragging an arm around a husband. I am not dragging a whole woman based on 6 edited clips. We are smarter than that. We are deep dive girlies. We do not jump. And to the men in the comments, and I know you're there, I can feel you breathing, I want to say this. If any of these clips made you uncomfortable, sit with that discomfort. Don't run from it. Don't deflect into all women are like that. Don't say, this is why I'll never get married. Sit with it. Ask yourself why a coach feels comfortable hugging a husband while sitting on the wife. Ask yourself what culture produced that comfort. Ask yourself if you have ever been Dre, even on a small day. Ask. Because we cannot fix what we will not name. MHM. And before I wrap this whole thing up, I want to add one more thought, because I would be doing you, the viewer, a disservice if I did not. The thought is this: in every public collapse of a high-profile relationship, the audience can usually identify the exact moment the wheels came off, but only in hindsight. We never see it in real time. We always look back, months later, and say, oh, there it was, that interview, that party, that podcast clip, that was the night. What I am telling you right now is that one of these 6 clips is going to be that clip. One of them. Maybe more than one. And in a year, when the dust has settled, the internet is going to make a supercut, and the supercut is going to open with one of these 6 moments. I do not know which one yet, but I am putting it in writing tonight on this video with the date stamp, so that when the supercut drops, you remember Tisa called it first. Tisa called it. Tisa always calls it. That's not bragging. That's pattern recognition. MHM. So that is where I'm leaving it tonight. I have laid out the 6 clips. I have walked you through the 3 possibilities. I have given you 4 predictions. I have honored Claressa's career. I have prayed over Papoose's spirit. I have warned the women. I have warned the men. I have done my civic duty. The rest is up to you, the people, the jury, the anti-group chat that runs the internet. Now you know the rules of this channel. If you laughed, if you gasped, if your jaw came unhinged at any point during these last few minutes, the like button is right there. It costs you nothing. It feeds my algorithm. It feeds my family. It allows me to keep showing up to your screen 4, sometimes 5 times a week, with these forensic deep dives that the regular news will not touch. Smash it. Smash it like it owes you money. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, because the next chapter of this saga is already loading, and I am not letting you miss it. The notification bell, the little gray one in the corner, click that too, because YouTube is petty and will hide me from you if you don't. We are not letting the algorithm separate this family. And in the comments, I want to know, and I want a real answer, which clip ruined you the most? Was it the hand? Was it the tilt? Was it the thigh-sit? Was it the husband hug? Was it the look? Was it the pinky? Pick one. Just one. Drop it in the comments with 1 sentence explaining why. I read every one. Every single one. The good ones, the bad ones, the ones in all caps. I am here for it. And while you're down there, do me one more favor. Tag somebody who needs to see this. Tag your friend who's about to date a coach. Tag your sister who keeps falling for tactile men. Tag your cousin who thinks we have an understanding is romantic. Tag them. Save them. Be the lighthouse, y'all. Be the lighthouse. Alright. That is the deep dive for tonight. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all in the next one, which, knowing this saga, is probably tomorrow. Until then, keep your eyes open, keep your group chats active, and remember, body language never lies, contracts always get leaked, and the internet never forgets. Bye y'all. Talk soon.